Okay, so get ready because today we're diving deep into Across the Zodiac.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
it's a vintage sci-fi novel.
It's a classic.
Yeah, that's like Jules Verne, but even wilder.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you took Jules Verne and then
Amped it up
yeah, amped it up
to 11.
to 11 exactly.
Yeah.
So, you guys have given us some really cool material to dig into here.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, and well, what we're going to try to do today is really unearth all the hidden gems in this wild tale of a journey to the moon and beyond,
Absolutely.
all aboard this fantastical airship called the Astrolabe.
The astrolabe, yeah. And what I think is so fascinating about this novel is how it really captures that 19th century
Oh, yeah?
hunger for scientific advancement.
Yes.
You know, it's like a time capsule of ambition and imagination from that era.
Yeah, so the story kicks off with Professor Ralph Court.
Our geologist and paleontologist.
Exactly, and he's feeling a bit down on his luck
Yeah.
after this disastrous expedition to Tibet.
Right.
So he's back in London.
Moping around.
Open around, yeah.
Yeah.
When his friend, the ever-resourceful Ned Hatton,
Oh, yeah, he always comes in
bursts in, yeah,
with something.
with news about this daring balloon expedition.
Yeah, this is where it all begins.
Yes, and this expedition.
Is set to cross Iceland's Vatnajökull,
Oh, wow.
which is this immense ice cap known for its treacherous terrain and volcanic activity.
Sounds dangerous.
Yeah. And leading this adventure is the mysterious Captain Clammel,
Okay.
a man shrouded in secrecy but renowned for his scientific brilliance.
So a bit of a mad scientist type.
Yeah, you could say that a little bit. All right, so Professor Ralph Court and Ned.
Eager for adventure.
Yeah.
And a chance to redeem themselves.
They need this.
Absolutely.
They jump at the chance to join this expedition.
Yeah,
They
it's
think they're in for a standard balloon ride.
a little sightseeing trip.
Right. But little do they know this is just the beginning of a journey that will completely blow their mind.
Blow their minds. And maybe even yours, too.
And ours, too.
So the novel really taps into that timeless human desire to explore,
Yeah,
to push beyond the known, even when facing the unknown.
absolutely.
All right, so picture this.
Okay, I'm picturing it.
Our intrepid trio sets off in this specially designed balloon.
Okay.
They're soaring above this stark Icelandic landscape.
Beautiful, but stark.
Right. They're
Okay.
busy documenting geological formations,
Very important work.
observing the unique flora,
Gotta know the plants.
right, and navigating the perilous crevasses of the Vatnajökull.
That sounds pretty tricky.
It's all very adventurous, but still pretty grounded.
Yeah, and the author does a phenomenal job describing this landscape.
Oh, yeah.
This desolate but stunning landscape.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
You can practically feel the awe and anticipation alongside these explorers.
Oh, absolutely. Hold on tight,
Oh, boy.
because things are about to take a sharp turn into the what just happened territory.
Here we go.
So as they're passing over an active volcano, talk about risky business.
Yeah, why would you do that?
I know, right?
I mean, I know they're explorers,
Yeah.
but come on.
This dense yellowish mist suddenly engulfs the balloon.
That can't be good.
Oh, it's not good.
No.
The scene, and it really underscores the inherent dangers of exploration.
Sure.
It's that constant possibility of encountering something unforeseen,
Yeah.
something potentially deadly
Absolutely.
that keeps us on the edge of our seats.
You never know what's going to happen.
No kidding. They're choking. They're gasping for air,
Oh, no.
thinking, well, this is it.
This is the end.
We're about to become human flambés.
Not a good way to go.
No, but just when they're bracing for this fiery demise, their balloon gets a super-powered boost upwards.
Oh.
It's like someone hit the fast-forward button on their ascent.
Someone's playing with them.
Right.
Wow.
And this is where the story blasts off from the realm of a standard adventure into the stratosphere of science fiction. It's a total game changer. So they look around,
What do they see?
and they realize they're not in a simple balloon anymore.
No way.
They're aboard this magnificent futuristic airship, the Astrolabe.
No.
Talk about an upgrade.
That's quite an upgrade.
Right? Professor Ralph Court is completely awestruck.
As you would be.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, come on.
This ship is unlike anything he's ever seen.
Sure.
It's luxurious,
Fancy.
technologically advanced, and get this, it can manipulate gravity.
What?
That detail alone speaks volumes about the novel's engagement with cutting-edge scientific concepts of its time. Imagine reading this back in 1880.
I know.
The idea of manipulating gravity would seem utterly fantastic.
Absolutely mind-blowing.
I know, right? And then they meet the mastermind behind it all, Captain Clammel.
Huh?
This intriguing mix of genius and a touch of mad scientist.
Of course.
Aloof,
Yeah.
secretive, brilliant, kind of like a 19th century Elon Musk, but with a penchant for the dramatic.
Like that compare.
No.
19th century Elon Musk.
Captain Clamille perfectly embodies that archetype of the visionary scientist.
Oh, totally.
Relentlessly driven by the pursuit of knowledge,
Yep.
even if it means pushing ethical boundaries, which, as we'll see, becomes a central theme.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay, so just when they're trying to wrap their heads around this incredible airship,
Yeah.
Captain Clamille drops another bombshell.
What's that?
They're not going back to Earth.
No.
Nope. They're going on a grand tour of the solar system.
Wow.
Starting with the moon.
Okay, so that sets the stage.
Yes.
For a series of adventures that will challenge everything these explorers thought they knew about the universe and their place in it.
Absolutely. All right, first, stop the moon.
Here we go.
As the astrolabe approaches, they get this breathtaking view of the lunar landscape bathed in Earth's reflected light.
I can imagine.
It's both awe-inspiring and a little eerie.
Yeah, a little spooky.
The novel's depiction of the moon aligns with what was scientifically understood at the time.
Right.
Desolate,
Yeah.
beautiful, and incredibly hostile.
You got to be careful out there.
Exactly. Now, remember those special diving suits Captain Clamille showed them?
Oh, yeah, those things.
They're about to become very important.
I was wondering about those.
Right. So the moon's atmosphere is super thin, almost non-existent in the higher elevations.
Right.
So those suits act like mini spaceships.
Oh, wow.
Providing breathable air and protection from the extreme temperatures.
That's smart.
Pretty ingenious, right?
Totally. It shows how the author was thinking about the practicalities of space travel, envisioning solutions to the challenges of surviving in alien environments.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so suited up our explorers venture out onto the lunar surface, trekking across vast plains and even venturing into the depths of a gigantic crater.
Bold.
Now, the moon in Across the Zodiac isn't quite what we see in movies.
Right.
It's more like a dying world
Okay.
with just traces of life clinging to existence.
So a little bit sad.
That stark contrast between the vibrant life we know on Earth and the desolate reality of other celestial bodies is a recurring theme in the novel.
Yeah, it makes you think.
It does. So they're exploring this barren landscape.
Okay.
And deep within these lunar caverns, they stumble upon something truly incredible.
What's that?
A hidden city.
Whoa.
But not just any city, a city built by these beings called Selenites.
The Selenites.
Imagine a vast underground metropolis.
Okay.
Its inhabitants long gone, but their presence still lingers. In the intricate carvings, the massive doorways, it's both awe-inspiring and a little spooky.
Like walking through a ghost town.
Yeah, it's like walking through a ghost town on another planet.
The discovery of this Selenite city adds a layer of mystery and intrigue.
Oh, yeah.
It raises questions about the possibility of ancient civilizations beyond Earth lost to time.
And it makes you wonder what happened to them.
Yeah, where did they go?
Right. There's a real sense of lost grandeur.
Yeah.
That really sets your imagination on fire.
For sure.
But exploring this ancient city isn't all poetic wonder.
Uh-oh.
Deep within these lunar caverns, they have a terrifying encounter with a giant blind phosphorescent serpent.
What?
This thing is the stuff of nightmares.
Oh my gosh.
Massive, slithering, and deadly?
Yeah. That's scary.
Talk about an unexpected twist.
You said it.
This encounter really highlights that unpredictable nature of exploration.
Yeah.
The potential for coming face to face with life forms that defy our understanding.
Totally.
Oh, for sure, it's a close call.
You're good.
But they managed to escape the serpent's clutches and return safely to the astrolabe.
Okay, good.
Shaken, but ready for the next leg of their journey.
I'm ready for it.
But where will Captain Clamille take them next?
Ooh, that's a good question.
That's a question for our next installment.
Okay.
So stay tuned as we delve deeper into the wonders and perils of Across the Zodiac.
I'm excited.
Okay, so welcome back to our deep dive into Across the Zodiac. I'm still buzzing from that close encounter with the giant moon serpent. Can you believe those things exist?
Well, you know what I find intriguing is that the author doesn't just throw these fantastical creatures at us for shock value.
Yeah.
You know, these encounters often serve as a way to explore the limits of human understanding and our place in this vast, unpredictable universe.
It's like even with all of our scientific advancements, we're still just scratching the surface of what's out there.
Oh, absolutely.
And Across the Zodiac really drives that point home.
Yeah.
As our intrepid explorers leave the moon behind and venture further into the solar system aboard the astrolabe.
Right.
But here's the thing.
Okay.
Their journey isn't just about, like, hopping from planet to planet.
Right.
The author actually takes the time to explain how the airship navigates the vast emptiness of space.
Exactly. And it's surprisingly detailed and inventive.
Oh, yeah.
Especially considering this was written in the late 19th century.
Right.
For instance, Captain Clamel explains that the astrolabe is drawn through space by a comet.
Wait, so they're hitching a ride on a comet?
Yeah, it acts like this cosmic tow truck.
Yeah.
Pulling them along on this grand tour.
That's pretty wild.
It is. And the comet doesn't just provide locomotion.
Okay.
It also serves as a source of light and warmth for the airship.
Oh, wow.
The author clearly understood
the
properties of celestial bodies.
Right.
And how they could be utilized for space travel.
Okay, that makes sense. But here's another question I've been wondering about.
Okay.
How do they breathe in the vacuum of space? I mean, even with the coolest airship, you can't just crack open a window for some fresh air out there.
We'll leave it to Captain Clamel, our resident genius,
Of course.
to come up with a solution.
Okay.
He's devised this brilliant system for compressing air inside the astrolabe.
Okay.
Allowing the crew to breathe comfortably.
It's like having their own portable atmosphere.
Precisely. And that's just one example of how the author blends these scientific concepts with imaginative storytelling.
It's what makes Across the Zodiac so compelling. So, comet-powered with a breathable atmosphere, the astrolabe continues on its journey.
All right.
And as they're hurtling through space, they stumble upon this tiny planet, a little world they dub Hatonia, after Ned, of course.
Of course.
What's remarkable about Hatonia is that it's like a miniature version of Earth. It's only a few miles in circumference.
Wow.
Yet it has its own atmosphere, oceans, even tiny mountains.
Like a little snow globe version of our planet.
Did they find any miniature humans walking around down there?
Well, the novel doesn't go into that level of detail.
Okay.
But the discovery of Hatonia does raise some fascinating questions.
Yeah.
About the diversity of celestial bodies.
Right.
Could there be other miniature worlds out there?
Right.
Each with its own unique ecosystem.
Wow.
It's a concept that continues to fascinate scientists today.
I'd love to see a miniature version of myself running around on a tiny planet.
Yeah.
But for now, let's get back to our explorers. They have a whole solar system to cover.
Right.
So after their brief stop at Hatonia, they continue their journey, eventually reaching the majestic rings of Saturn.
Wow, can you imagine what that must have been like?
A sea of sparkling dust and ice stretching across the sky.
Breathtaking.
That would be absolutely breathtaking. Did they try to land on any of the rings?
Well, they attempted to land on Saturn itself.
Oh.
Which proved to be a much more perilous endeavor than they anticipated.
Oh, no.
The astrolabe gets caught in this gravitational pull of the planet and its rings.
Wow.
And is battered by these intense storms.
Oh, my God.
The landing itself is a near disaster.
Oh, wow.
With the ship barely managing to touch down on this fiery volcanic landscape.
It sounds terrifying, and they thought the moon was dangerous.
Right. This harrowing landing underscores the risks inherent in venturing into uncharted territory.
Right.
It's a reminder that even with the most advanced technology, there are forces in the universe that we can't control.
So they've crash-landed on this fiery volcanic version of hell.
Yeah.
What happens next? Do they encounter more bizarre creatures?
Well, Saturn doesn't disappoint.
Okay.
In terms of strange and dangerous life forms.
Okay.
They encounter giant plesiosauruses lurking in murky seas.
Oh, wow.
Swarms of venomous insects.
Oh.
With metallic exoskeletons.
Wait, insects with metal armor?
Yeah, it's straight out of a sci-fi movie.
That's crazy.
And there's even a colossal mammoth-like creature.
Wow.
That seems to enjoy taking steam baths.
Oh.
You hear the volcanic vents talk about a wild safari.
So Saturn definitely wins the prize for most creative alien life forms.
Yeah.
But this is Across the Zodiac.
Right.
And I have a feeling things are about to get even more complicated.
You're right. As the journey progresses, a tension begins to build. Between Captain Clamel and Ned Hatton.
Okay.
Ned starts questioning the captain's methods. His secrecy, his ruthlessness in dealing with any dissent among the crew.
Right.
The atmosphere on the astrolabe becomes increasingly tense.
Yeah.
With the crew terrified of the captain's unpredictable nature.
It's like you're trapped in this incredible airship hurtling through space, and suddenly you realize the biggest danger might be the person in charge.
Absolutely. And this conflict introduces a whole new dimension to the story.
Right.
It raises questions about the limits of scientific ambition.
Yeah.
The potential for power to corrupt even the most brilliant minds.
So what happens? Does Ned confront Captain Clemo?
Well, Ned stumbles upon a shocking discovery.
What is it?
He accidentally uncovers the captain's secret,
Okay.
a hidden network of microphones and telephones
What?
that allow him to monitor every conversation and movement on the ship.
Whoa, that's creepy.
It's like something out of a dystopian novel.
Yeah, it speaks to our anxieties about privacy and control.
Exactly.
Themes that are even more relevant today
Right.
in our world of ubiquitous technology and data collection.
For sure.
So what do Ned and Professor Ralphcourt do? They can't just ignore this, right?
They realize they're in a dangerous situation.
Okay.
They attempt to escape, but they're caught and imprisoned
Oh, no.
in a superheated compartment deep within the astrolabe.
It's like being thrown into a sauna from hell.
Yeah. Talk about a bad situation getting worse.
What happens next?
No.
Well,
Do they manage to escape?
their fate and the fate of the astrolabe itself hang in the balance.
Oh, boy.
As they're hurtled towards the sun's fiery inferno.
Okay.
And that's where we'll pick up in our final installment.
Okay.
Stay tuned to find out if they escape
Right.
this seemingly impossible predicament.
Yeah.
And uncover the mysteries surrounding Captain Clamel.
All right, so welcome back to our deep dive into Across the Zodiac. Last we left, our intrepid explorers, they were trapped in a superheated prison aboard the astrolabe, hurtling towards the sun. I'm on the edge of my seat. Did they make it out alive?
Oh.
You know, this final act is really where the novel takes an interesting turn. We've been on this incredible journey through the solar system, encountering these mind-boggling wonders and facing terrifying dangers. But now the focus shifts inward towards the human condition. It becomes a story about resilience, about hope and despair in the face of impossible odds.
So what happens to Professor Ralphcourt and Ned? Are they cooked alive?
Well, remember how they were mistaken for escaped convicts back on Earth? That theme of irony and absurdity kind of continues. They've traversed the solar system, seen things beyond human comprehension, and yet they find themselves back on their home planet, facing this most basic human challenge, survival.
Wait, so they escape the sun. How do they even get back to Earth?
It's one of those moments where fate takes the wheel as the astrolabe is pulled closer to the sun. It's caught in the path of another comet, like a cosmic pinball being launched back into play.
Whoa, so they literally get slingshotted back towards Earth.
Exactly. It's this chaotic, unexpected twist that injects this element of serendipity into the narrative. Like, even in the face of these seemingly inevitable outcomes, there's always a possibility for the unexpected.
Okay, so they're heading back to Earth, but what about the captain last we saw him? He was standing in the engine room watching the mutiny unfold, facing the impending doom of the astrolabe. Did he survive?
The novel leaves Captain Clamel's fate open to interpretation. We don't see him again after that moment in the engine room. Did he perish in the sun's heat? Did he somehow escape in a last-minute act of self-preservation? It's one of those lingering questions that keeps you thinking about the story long after you finished it.
It's like the captain becomes this enigmatic ghost haunting the narrative even in his absence.
Exactly. But while the captain's fate remains a mystery, we do know what happens to Professor Ralphcourt and Ned. They manage to make their way back to Earth, crash landing in the frozen wastes of Siberia.
Yeah.
Talk about a rough homecoming.
Out of the frying pan and into the freezer.
Right. And their troubles aren't over. They're still mistaken for escaped convicts. They've crossed the solar system, survived encounters with alien creatures, narrowly escaped a fiery death in the sun, and they end up in a Siberian jail. Talk about bad luck.
I can't believe it. That's just cosmically unfair. But knowing Ned, he's not the type to just sit in a cell and accept his fate. Did he manage to talk his way out of this one?
Leave it to Ned to come up with a solution. He concocts this elaborate story, convincing the authorities of their true identities. It's a bit far-fetched, but it works. They're released and finally allowed to return to civilization.
What a wild ride, but even after all they've been through, I bet it was a relief to be back on familiar ground.
Absolutely. Their return marks a return to normalcy, but it's a normalcy forever infused with the extraordinary. They carry the weight of their experiences, this profound understanding of the universe and their place within it.
And they probably have some incredible stories to tell at dinner parties.
Definitely. But they also return with a sense of loss. The astrolabe, that marvel of engineering, is gone. Captain Clamel, that complex and enigmatic figure, has vanished. And with them, the possibility of further exploration of venturing deeper into the cosmos has faded.
It's like the end of an era.
It is, and it speaks to the bittersweet nature of exploration. The drive to discover, to push boundaries, is often accompanied by a sense of longing, a recognition of the vastness of the unknown and the limitations of human experience.
So what does it all mean? What are we supposed to take away from Across the Zodiac?
Well, Across the Zodiac, despite its fantastical elements, raises these profound questions about scientific ambition, the nature of humanity and our place in the universe. It's a reminder that exploration, while thrilling and awe-inspiring, can also be dangerous and isolating.
It's about pushing the boundaries of what's possible, but also understanding the consequences of our actions.
Precisely, and it challenges us to think about the ethical implications of scientific advancement, the responsibility that comes with knowledge, and the importance of balancing ambition with compassion.
It's a story that makes you look up at the night sky with a sense of wonder and a renewed appreciation for the fragility of our existence.
And maybe, just maybe, it'll spark a flicker of that adventurous spirit within you, urging you to explore, to question, and to never stop seeking knowledge, even in the face of the unknown.
So what do you think, could a ship like the Astrolabe ever exist? What wonders or dangers might we encounter as we venture further into space, and would you be brave enough to take the journey?